This might be a first. Have we ever
think
done
this
a
is
Saturday show, Williams?
I don't think so. For a lot of reasons. One, it's just not like a good time to do a podcast, but the only thing I would say to that, though, is I don't think anybody knows what day it is right now.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying?
This is it, though. This is the last day for that. Because then it's Sunday before the first full week of the year, the first full week since the holiday season. And let's be honest, like all the New Year's resolutions and all that stuff, that starts Monday. Right? Yeah. This is it. This is your last chance to get it out.
Yeah, go ahead and eat some donuts.
God, you sound like shit, too. We both sound like shit.
I don't feel good. I haven't felt well.
Good morning, boys. Do I sound okay?
You do sound okay, Van Wil.
Great. I'll bring us back up.
Oh, you got all the Niners gear on.
Oh, we rolling today. It's Saturday. It's game day, boys.
Oh, that's right. You guys play tonight for the 1 seed.
Yeah. Big game. Big game.
I'm fine. I don't feel like a death or anything. I've been doing this cough, and I think everybody's had it in some capacity. You said you've been sick too?
Yeah, I've been sick for over 2 weeks now. I originally got sick the day I traveled back to Iowa. I was fighting a cold the whole time I was there. I felt like I had gotten over it. I was totally fine on my flight home. And then I get home and it starts all over again. Post-nasal drip, sore throat. I go back to the doctor. I'm on antibiotics. But we're going to fight through for you.
Fight it through.
We owe you a show. We didn't do a Thursday show. We didn't do a Wednesday show. We didn't do a Thursday show. We got a lot to talk about. We haven't done a show since Iowa beat a ranked team. Yeah.
No,
the streak is over.
No,
it's over. We haven't talked since, Iowa State jumped into conference play last night. So let's get to it on Two Guys.
They say the grass is greener where you water it. For me, that means being loyal, putting in the work, and being part of a community that raised me. Fareway, your home court advantage.
Rodeo fans, saddle up for the Cinch World's Toughest Rodeo, presented by RM43, January 9th and 10th at Casey Center. Come early for autographs, pony rides, and more. Get tickets now at HighVTix.com. The buck starts here at the Cinch World's Toughest Rodeo.
Chris Williams, Chris Hassel, two Chris's, one network. This is Two Guys. Presented by Fareway Meat and Grocery. From the Channel Seed Studios, this is Two Guys. Exclusively on Iowa Everywhere.
What up? It is the 3rd of January, 2026. Chris and Chris. Little Fareway Meat and Groceries bringing you the show this morning. We are always in the Channel Seed Studios, and we look forward to a healthy and prosperous 2026 for all of you.
Healthier than we are right now, hopefully. Starting the year on a low.
We need to get you on that Paxlovid there, Hassel.
If you're a fat ass and you can't shake your cold, it's Paxlovid.
So much to get to. College football playoff. It's transfer portal season for Iowa State, where a lot of stuff is going to happen over the next week or so. We're going to have a completely new look of Iowa State football.
Yeah, I see you still got your former Iowa State player, Brazina's
That's my tag team
thing.
partner, man. I ain't taking that down. He's my kid. He's my boy. I love that guy.
I don't know, man. What if he goes to Penn State?
I mean,
you're not going to keep that up. In the background of your shot, like that's going to be the thing in the background. There's one piece of Iowa State memorabilia in your background, and it's a guy who left.
I agree. It can't be.
Yeah, throw Blythe back up.
Get Blythe back up? Yeah. Just one of those, like we were talking about. It's just got to be one of the former guys, right? Like,
yeah.
I got a bunch of Niang stuff. I could throw his stuff up there.
That's the key. Like I learned that a little too late in life, but one Christmas, my dad got me a Mitch Trubisky Bears jersey.
Oh, nice.
I think I wore it once. Like you got to go Walter Payton, Gale Sayers.
That's my Viking stuff is all Randy Moss and Chris Carter.
And now, Randy Moss did go elsewhere too, but I think it still worked because he was at his absolute peak with the Vikings.
Yeah, he's a Viking. It doesn't matter what he did.
No more
anywhere else.
Personalized college sports jerseys at Christmas for the football team.
I mean, we all learned a hard lesson this year.
Good God.
All those crying kids.
Yeah, my dad this year, he got me a Rhys Dakin jersey. Now what am I going to do with it?
Well, I tell you what a dramatic turn of events that's been over the last 3 years. Because he gets shipped to Iowa. He didn't even know where Iowa was. Never even committed to the team.
I want to talk about this a little bit later. I think we should
we're
start
gonna get
with
into this later. Okay.
Yeah, we start with basketball, right?
Yeah, I mean, last night was Big 12 opener in Hilton Coliseum. I was up there. I didn't get home till super late. It was 8 o'clock. Did you even stay up to watch it?
I did. It would have been tough if it was a weeknight, but since it's a weekend, we went to a movie.
What'd you see?
What the hell is it called? It's got Sydney Sweeney, The Housekeeper, something like that.
I know what you're talking about.
It's based on a book. It was pretty good.
Or not my mom, my wife. My mom and my wife were talking about this last night. My wife is going to that tonight.
I think she'll like it. It's my mom's favorite book, and they turned it into a movie, and I had no idea about it, but it was pretty good.
The Housemaid?
The Housemaid, yes.
I bet it was if Sydney Sweeney was in it. I bet you really enjoyed that.
God, I'm not a big Sydney Sweeney fan. Like I don't think she's a very good actress, and she pisses me off a lot of times in the stuff that she's in. And I know we're supposed to be talking basketball, but
we're supposed to be talking about mommy.
Every time she's in a movie, it's like she hardly covers herself up at all. Oh. Like she's supposed to be the housemaid. You're supposed to be like dressed. It's just nothing but cleavage, and I mean, I think it's almost full body nudity in a couple of.
Well, that sounds
in
horrible.
A couple of scenes. Come on, I don't need to see that crap, that filth.
What is wrong with you?
What? It's too much.
You have this weird complex. Like you and me and Murph were texting about the show Landman.
Yeah.
The other day, and like you get so pissed off at fictional characters.
I do. There's a couple of characters in Landman that just
because I'm like, but I'm thinking like when you're getting so mad about it, I'm like, well, that's their character. It's not like they're not choosing to be bad people. They're characters.
This is supposed to be. Sorry, I just spit on myself. This is supposed to be two gays, Williams, not just one gay. Okay. I don't want to see that.
That Sydney Sweeney gal, if you got it, flaunt it, girl.
No, it's forced. It's too. When you watch the movie, you'll know what I mean.
I ain't watching that movie. The Tulsa shootouts tonight.
So what the hell does that mean?
They put the sprint cars in a dome.
Okay. So anyway, we
Blake
see
Anderson's on the call.
Kristen makes dinner, steak and baked potato. We eat dinner. We go to a movie. Then we go to a place for a drink after the movie. And the game, I get home and the game is just then starting. That's how late this game is.
It is a late tip, man.
And
then it started even later because of like some golf tournament or something on ESPN. So they delayed it like 5 minutes.
So in the start of that game sucked.
Oh, dude, it was like a morgue in there.
Yeah,
so weird.
I was watching the first 10 minutes of that game, and I felt just like I think the fans did. Like, God, you're 18-point favorites. It's just you're just kind of sitting and waiting. And then I started thinking, like, this doesn't happen at Fog Allen. Like, you go to a game at Fog Allen, I don't care who they're playing. Those fans are on it from the jump. These fans, they need to start making a difference. And they did. It took a while, but when Iowa State was down with 8 minutes to go in the first half, finally the fans are like, okay, we can't just sit on our hands anymore. Let's go. We got to get this team going. And then all of a sudden Bateman, hits a couple threes, and it was on. And Hilton has that switch, and the fans, I think they waited a little bit too long. I wish they would have been on it from the jump, but once they flipped it, it was over.
Yeah, it was those 2 Bateman threes. You nailed it. And I actually think, too, I thought about this at halftime. You realize it had almost been a full month since they had played in like a real competitive basketball game. It was the Iowa game.
Yeah, when was that? December. Yeah, that was 4 weeks ago.
So, and if you've watched all these shit bye games that they've had, they have not been playing that well.
And how can you expect them to?
Exactly. And they flipped the switch, and once they did, they looked like a Final Four team out there. Momcilovic, Jake has the shot right there. 8 of 10 from 3. Listen to this stat. He's shot now over 100 threes on the season. He's at 56%.
That's out of this world.
Yeah, it's insane.
That's more than you could have even expected from him, because we've been waiting for him to become this guy. And I felt like if this team was going to be a Final Four caliber team this year, he was going to need to do that. Not this, but just become the guy that we thought he could be. I'm thinking like, at best 50% from deep. But taking that many shots and hitting what'd you say, 56%?
56% from 3 right now.
Incredible.
So he's first in the country, and the guy who's second has taken half the amount of threes that he has. Which tells me that guy needs to be shooting more. But he's just on another planet right now. Joshua Jefferson has a first career triple-double. 10, 10, and 10 for that guy.
It seemed pretty quiet, too. It wasn't like it.
No, yeah.
They just have so many pieces. And Torrey can just kind of disappear because he doesn't need to do anything offensively. He just locks you down defensively.
I was talking with the West Virginia play-by-play guy.
Is that Brad Howe?
Yeah. And
Iowa guy.
Yeah. Great dude. West Des Moines guy. And we were just discussing like this Iowa State team in particular compared to even like last year's team, where at this point they were like the number 2 team in the country, if you remember correctly. But it's like this team just doesn't have any holes when it's healthy. Buchanan has filled that, right? Last year it was like you kind of go at the 5 guy, and Jackson he wasn't in great shape, and like
Oh, and Momcilovic wasn't this.
Correct.
You didn't have Torrey.
But Buchanan too. It's like this team is just really, really good, and it's a little frustrating. So they do have a real test on Wednesday. They've got to go to Waco to play Baylor, and that'll be a really.
What do you even make of that game? Not knowing, has this 7-foot guy? I almost called him a kid.
Gonna start playing. Yeah, I think we'll find out today. They play TCU today.
Now this guy that they got, how old is he?
What, like 25, 26?
He was the 31st pick in the 23 draft. Was played in summer league that year, but never played in the NBA. So I guess that's why he is able to come back to college. But he did play professionally elsewhere. You wonder what kind of difference a guy like that could make right away. Like, is it?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not anticipating anything. But my whole point is there's still talent in Waco, and it's still a long road trip, and it's a Big 12 game.
Mm-hmm.
That'll be a tough game. But you get through that. And then you have Oklahoma State. You'll win that at home. And you got to go to Allen Fieldhouse. Like, Iowa State could be 16-0 going to that game at Allen Fieldhouse.
Well, they should be. I mean, that'd be really disappointing if you don't beat Baylor.
They're going to be probably a 5 or a 6 point favorite.
You think that's it? That's all they'll be?
Yeah. Maybe a little bit more. But, I don't think it'll be much more than that. Let's watch Baylor. I want to watch Baylor today.
Yeah.
They play TCU today. They're like a 2-point favorite in that game.
Baylor's a 2-point favorite against TCU?
Yeah. In a road game.
Okay. So TCU, I thought TCU got off to a good start. But didn't what's his name? He was cooking early. What's his name?
Your guy.
The transfer from Iowa?
Guy. He got like $200 million to go to TCU.
That's an interesting line. Yeah. So Vegas does like Baylor a little bit more than I thought they would.
Yeah, they like him. So Again, I don't really know what to read. I do know this, that the Big 12 as a whole. Matt, will you do us a favor, buddy, and pull up just the Big 12 schedule for today?
Yeah.
Now, don't get too sensitive, Iowa State fans. But the fact of the matter is that the Big 12 basketball this year, Brendan and I talked about this on our Cyclone Fanatic pregame show last night. I believe the Big 12 has 5 to possibly 6 teams that could make a Final Four. I think that they have 7 or 8 NCAA tournament
Yeah,
teams.
it's just
What that means is there's just look at this schedule today. It sucks. You've got Oklahoma State at Texas Tech. You have BYU at Kansas State. That'll be a decent game because you never know. Like the Octagon is tough. You've got Houston, Cincinnati, which we'll see what Cincinnati is. Jizzle James back. I don't know. We'll find out a little bit more about them.
the Jizz Monster.
Oklahoma.
That's what
by
they
the way,
call
Oklahoma
him.
State is 12-1. I mean, they haven't played anybody really, but they're 12-1. Shouldn't be a bad game.
What's their best win? I would just be curious.
Well, they lost to Oklahoma. Their best win, Texas at Texas A&M, actually, at home against
They're 11.5-point underdogs at Tech.
Northwestern. Yeah.
I guess you see my point. This league is very uneven. At
It
the top and
sucks.
the
It sucks that all of Iowa State's big games, or at least 90% of them, are in the final 3 weeks of the season. And the conference is too big, and you have these elite teams at the top, but then a lot like Big Ten football has been lately, you don't have that great, mid-level. The mid-level in the Big 12 has taken a big step down because Kansas State's not that good. Baylor and TCU aren't that good. Utah's terrible. It's too bad. Like, God, if this could be a 14-team conference, or God forbid a 12-team conference, then you get to play all these awesome games every single week. It's just not happening right now for the Big 12. And I don't know, it's kind of you're kind of unlucky with the scheduling as well.
Yeah,
Because I was looking at somebody else's schedule in the Big 12, and it might be Arizona's, and it's a lot like Iowa State's. You don't really play anybody, and then all of a sudden, boom, 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 and I've got it pulled up right now. Arizona. So Iowa State and Arizona are basically co-favorites to win the Big 12. Both of them are right around plus 200 to win the conference. Both of them are undefeated right now. But Arizona doesn't play, they play one ranked team the next month. And then they've got 4 ranked teams in a row. And then obviously Iowa State and Arizona don't play until the second to last game of the season. And by that point, it's like, maybe it's for a conference championship. That would be great. But at that, I don't know. It sucks. It could be so much better than this. It really could. I wish we could redo the conference schedule after the non-con.
Yeah. Wouldn't that be something?
God.
I bet the TV networks wish they could do that too.
Right. Yeah, because there's just so many of these double-digit spreads in these games because there's
Think back to
elite teams and everybody else in this conference now.
Just think how great that round robin used to be. Just longing for other days. Before we move on, I was, Quentin from Freedom Tire, his son, came up to me and said hi to me before the game and told me that his dad stayed home because he wanted to. And I thought of you, that Quentin didn't go to the game last night because he was drinking old fashions at home.
And you can't get an old fashioned.
Can't get that at Hilton Coliseum.
Well, and Pollard won't let you get anything unless you're a big donor.
Get a clone cone.
Oh, God. Who the hell wants to eat a fucking ice cream cone when it's 0 degrees out?
You were about the Carver cones, huh?
No. It's all ridiculous.
Speaking of dads, did you guys happen to see dads on Facebook last night?
Unbelievable.
My wife is the one who tipped this off because she was very concerned about my dad's feelings.
So Mike,
what your dad did.
Post a photo.
FreedomTire.com. Thanks to them for supporting the show.
Mike posts a photo from his seats up in the nosebleeds that says, "In Hilton tonight to root for our Cyclones. So much fun. the guy's just having a good time. He's happy after all that football nonsense to be back in the basketball arena for a Big 12 game. And my dad responds, "Terrible seats for a huge donor." My dad told me a few weeks ago.
Stop doing this.
But you're
He's
forgetting
like,
Mike's response.
I'm not going to comment on any of his posts anymore because he can't handle it. He's too soft. And you told me, Williams, that your dad might have his feelings hurt by this. But it was a good response that he had.
Yeah, good comeback.
Mike says, Hilton's a hard ticket. We actually get fans to go to our games.
Love it.
No, that's good. I liked it. They just need to keep going at it. This just needs to.
Well, they do, but your dad needs to not take this so personal.
Well, I'm telling you, they need to meet one time. All that my dad knows is
You're
just
right. They do
internet
need to
troll.
be, yeah. It feels like they know each other, but they really don't.
My dad will be fine. You know,
And your dad is not a huge donor. Why does my dad think that?
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Clearly. It is a hard ticket, though. Did you see they've sold out of almost – there's only like 3 games that have any tickets left for the rest of the year at Hilton. They'll sell out every game.
As it should. I mean,
yeah.
if
you're not going to go now.
Right. This is a great team. Now, back to our previous conversation, these games aren't like super, super intriguing. Like you're a 18-point favorite against West Virginia. You'll be probably a 18-point favorite against Oklahoma State, and then you'll be an 18-point favorite against UCF, and then you'll be an 18-point favorite against Colorado, and then you'll be a double-digit favorite against Baylor. Those are the next several home games. It's too bad.
We'll stay on this Big 12 topic real quick, and then as we transition into our football conversation.
Well, Iowa plays today.
In a minute. I was just going to do that. Iowa, UCLA. Do we have a line for that? I don't have a...
Let's get a line. Let's get a line on this sucker.
Let's get a line.
I do have an attendance update.
Oh, for the Hawks?
Yes.
What is it?
All right. So, about 12,000 seats have been sold. So we're 3,000 short of a sellout at this point. But I'm told by one of our trusted friends inside the athletic department, and Iowa's a 4.5-point favorite, by the way. Should be a good game.
Yeah. Fun opponent, too.
It's actually going more toward Iowa. You can find it at 5.5, some places 6.5.
What time is that? 5 today? Okay.
Yep. 5 o'clock. So a really good time on a Saturday. It might be a little bit better if it was earlier in the day, maybe draw more people out.
Beggars can't be choosers, okay?
No, you're right.
You get your damn Saturday. You guys have bitched about this for years.
Well, here's some context. And our trusted prognosticator believes that there will be at least 13,000 in attendance. I asked, how does that compare to if we would have had this game last year in this exact spot? He said last couple years even, you'd be stunned to reach 10,000 for this game. So that's the Ben McCullum bump right there.
So is that ticket sold or just like people actually physically?
Tickets sold.
Okay. Yeah.
Tickets sold. He believes it to be it'll end up being around 13,000 out of, it's 15. It was 15.5. I don't know what it is now, 15 even. It's going to be a good crowd. It's going to be a lively crowd. Obviously the students aren't there, but this is going to be fun. This is like, finally, you jump back in to conference play and it's against it's not a traditional Big Ten opponent, but it's a unique opponent in UCLA that has all that history.
I can give you some context here. So, so Iowa's first Big Ten home game last year. Do you remember who they played? Fred Hoiberg in Nebraska.
Yeah. What about Freddie last night?
Do you know what the
beating Izzo?
Guess what the attendance was for that game?
What was was it a weekday game?
It was January 7th. You know what? I'm thinking back. Was there a snowstorm that day? There might have been, but there were 7,800 fans of that game.
Jesus. Against somebody that's supposed to be your rival too. I know it's different in basketball, but This is where we'll start to see it here. Let's see what happens today. Let's see how that crowd is. Let's get Iowa to, what would this be, 2-1 in Big Ten play, and start to get this ball rolling. Because I think Iowa's a really good team. They are 1-1 in Big Ten play. They beat Maryland, killed Maryland. They lost to Michigan State. And then they go to Minnesota, and then it's on. Like, number 20, Illinois is coming to town. You go to number 5, Purdue. They should be able to blow them out at Mackey because everybody does these days. But I think this game's going to tell us a lot about how good Iowa is. They can't lose this game. They've got to beat UCLA.
I didn't get to watch it because I was obviously covering the Iowa State game, but can we talk about Fred Hoiberg real quick? 14-0. They
Insane.
win against Michigan State last night.
Unbelievable. And that place was on fire. It was at the same time as the Iowa State game, so I didn't get to see a lot of it either. But
they must be really legit.
This came out of nowhere.
Yeah, because you still were kind of like, when they wanted Illinois, you're like, okay, but they still don't have like a ton of like quad 1 wins where you're like really impressive. This is a guy who was on the hot seat 2 years ago.
And I think at a lot of other places, and maybe if you have a different personality, you do get fired.
Yes.
This is one of those.
And you're at a true football school there too, so you have a little bit more leeway.
But the fans have, God, I know we give Nebraska a lot of shit, but those fans are unbelievable.
They're awesome.
Unbelievable for their sports teams. This Nebraska basketball team, even when they weren't good under Hoiberg, they were showing up. And
on that note,
students show up. God.
Remember how hard on Nebraska I was when they
hard on?
How hard I was on.
You said hard on.
Yeah. Well, that too.
Speaking of hard ons,
after they gave Rule that extension, like I was like, this is stupid. Like, you didn't need to do this. They are all like, their fans went from like celebrating that to wanting him fired in like 4 weeks. It's incredible. Although I did see that your boy, the Missouri quarterback Prebula, might end up there.
Oh no, really?
Yeah. Oh. That's what a lot of people are projecting right now.
God damn it. He's better than Raiola.
A lot better than Raiola. That's like a bunch of it's just a projection. It could go another way, but I did think that this, like, all these quarterbacks moving constantly, there's 10% of me that thinks it's exciting, and the rest of me is just so fucking over it.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Well, I guess we're getting into our football talk.
Well, let's I'm going to go long on this. Okay. Wealth Charter.
It's time to go long with Wealth Charter Retirement Planning and Tax.
Perfect time to set up that appointment with Wealth Charter where you can simplify your finances. Don't be the guy getting stuck with the huge tax bill in 2026. They can help you with your distributions, retirement, all the good stuff. Wealth Charter Retirement Planning and Tax. I want to start with I'll start with the quarterbacks, but just lead into what has been a disastrous couple of weeks for the Big 12 Conference. So you have all 4 of your top quarterbacks in the league are transferring, and they're transferring what is perceived up, right, where they're going to get paid more, quote unquote, better programs, where they are going to perceivably have a better chance at a national championship. You can make arguments to that, but that's what the perception is at the very least. You lose Matt Campbell to Penn State. You lose Kyle Whittingham to Michigan. You did have a couple of wins with Satake and Dillingham deciding to stay home at Arizona State and BYU. But then you have Texas Tech lay an absolute egg in the bowl game. And
so damaging.
It really, it's hard to put into words how poor of a month it's been for this conference. And like, even more so than Texas Tech, Chris, like I just think like all these quarterbacks leaving, it just, how do you argue with the person who points at the Big 12 right now and says it's kind of like a proving ground for the SEC and the Big 10 when it comes to these top end players? Now, not everybody you're going to have good players in the league and good coaches. I'm not disparaging that. It's just the
but can you keep them?
The perception of this, like Sorsby. Now, I think Sorsby is going to transfer to Texas Tech. Okay, so that's not exactly.
It sounds like so he visited Tech yesterday, but now he's visiting LSU. So
okay, I didn't know that. I thought he was going to end up there.
He might end up at Texas Tech, but those are the two schools.
So it's not like a perfect comment. It looks bad, and I love the Big 12. You guys know that I'm a Big 12 homer. It's hard to defend right now. Like it's really hard to come up with a defense for this conference right now, at least in the sport of football.
What did we say from the get-go? They were going to get one team in this 12-team playoff, and when they do, those teams have to win. Arizona State damn near did it last year, but they didn't. So you get one team in again, a team that was head and shoulders above everybody else and spent more money than anybody else, but they didn't have a quarterback, they didn't have an offense, and they get shut out by the third best Big Ten team.
And really, that offense couldn't have looked worse.
Oh,
the
God.
False starts,
it was terrible.
Morton couldn't complete like a simple pass for half the game. It was awful.
That defense is legit. Like that's one of the best defenses in college football.
Top 3 or 4 in the country.
But that looked like an Iowa team from years past with elite defense. But that's it. Against an elite team like Oregon, you've got no shot. And this is going to, unfortunately, drag the Big 12 even further away from the Big 10 and the SEC in that perceived area. And that's all that matters anymore is what's perceived of the conference by the committee and the talking heads and all that. And what makes it worse is what Miami is doing out of the ACC.
No doubt. Because they were supposed to be the garbage league, right?
Yeah, the Big 12 had thought of itself, and I had thought of the Big 12
as better than the
as
ACC.
The number 3, the solid number 3. And the ACC was the step to, well, now you've got this brand in Miami that didn't even win the ACC that is hot. Went on the road at A&M and won.
It could win the national championship.
It might, yeah. They're favored in the semis. And that's going to hurt the Big 12 as well. I opened up Twitter this morning, and the first thing I saw on my For You page was from Yahoo Sports. Dan Wolken questions whether the Big 12 conference is still worthy. Here's the quote. It's time to consider whether the Big 12 is perpetuating a fraud on college football. Is this collection of schools still worthy of being called a power conference? Those are the conversations that are going to be had this offseason and all the way through next year, no matter what happens in Big 12 play.
And again, like the games obviously really matter. But what I think you and me are on the same page is we're constantly talking about it's the perception of the league. And I can already see it now. Well, the perception is because you guys keep talking about it like that. Well, not like when your 4 best quarterbacks and your best coaches are constantly leaving.
Yeah.
That's the problem. And it started off really good, right? With Sataki and Dillingham, and well, then Campbell leaves, and then now the Whittingham thing happens. And it's the players is the biggest thing for me. It's like, and if you had more schools like Texas Tech and BYU that are just going to pay these guys ungodly money to come, then it changes the perception. The problem is you don't. And that's what Dillingham is always out there pounding the pavement for, being like, we need a billionaire. We need all these businesses to each chip in $500 a month or what, right? Like that's what he's doing. He sees this. And he knows it, and I guarantee if Kenny Dillingham were sitting here right now with us, he would agree with us.
The only way that this is going to the only way the Big 12 is going to stop sliding further and further and further away from the top two conferences and even the ACC is if they start winning playoff games. And
I actually think that they're going to have a harder time too, though, because of all the instability. Like,
well, yeah.
The longer this goes on, like look at West Virginia last year, right? Where you have a coaching change, and Oklahoma State's a great example too, both of those schools. The last 2 years, both of these schools have like 50 guys in the transfer portal. 2 years in a row, that kind of turnover. Because once you start doing that, it's hard to get out of the cycle.
Yeah.
And I just pray Iowa State's not going to be in this spot a year from now. You know, hopefully Jimmy Rogers has this thing figured out, and and it's not that same way. But again, my point is, once it gets rolling, it is really, really, really tough to stop. And then what we saw in the Big 12 this year, it was so disappointing to me. The games just weren't that good.
Mm-hmm. Texas Tech was so much better than everybody else, and still so far away from everybody else in the other conferences. And so what that means for next year is, even if you do have a few legitimately good teams, the perception is still going to be there. And you're not going to get the benefit of the doubt. The only way is to win playoff games, to win games against, and not bowl games, like not the Pop-Tarts Bowl, like actual games, whether it's regular season or playoff.
Yeah, these bowl games are a joke. Like, I know people are watching them. I've had people tweeting at me like the television ratings for them. I know people watch them. People are betting on them. I know all that. Again, I cannot believe you mentioned the word farce. I cannot believe the farce of the bowl system and how they continue to pull the wool over the eyes of college football fans. The players and coaches tell us they don't care by opting out and taking other jobs. Iowa State went 8-4 in football. Do you know how hard that is over the course of 100 years to do? And the coach just left and was like, I'm not going to coach in that game. If it was that big of a deal, Lane Kiffin's team went to the college football playoff and he left. They are in the Final Four.
And do you know what's happening now with Ole Miss?
Well, the tampering stuff, I was reading about that this morning, and then like they're trying to say that the coaches have to go to LSU. Is that the thing?
They might not be around for this whole run, or at least not all of them.
Man. Like,
yeah, Lane Kiffin might say, like, look, you need to come. We can't sit here and let you keep. Can you imagine that? Ole Miss is in the semis. And then what if they win, make the championship game, and they yank the coaches? Oh, my God. What a mess we have right now. What a goddamn mess. Jesus. Now, I do love that these are the teams we have in the semis.
Absolutely.
I love this. Like, this is what we needed. Like,
absolutely.
Because what was
those blue bloods out? Absolutely.
The argument that all of these CFP detractors would make is, you can add however many teams you want to the playoff. Go right ahead. It's still going to be the same teams playing for the title every year. It's going to be Georgia and Alabama and Ohio State. Well, guess what? They all lost in the quarterfinals. We have 4 teams here that have a combined, have a combined 0 national championships over the last 2 decades. Miami is the only one that has any kind of modern football national championship, and that was before any of these players were even born.
Wasn't that wild to look at the Rose Bowl scoreboard and see Indiana just pasting Alabama?
God, that's so refreshing to see.
In the sport of football.
And you know what? Alabama did not belong. Alabama did not belong.
No.
But that's not going to be – that's not going to hurt the SEC.
Notre Dame's not better than Alabama. They are.
Oh, yeah. Notre Dame is definitely better than Bama.
There's just a lot to change. And, in the Big 12's defense, I think I could definitely argue that, in an expanded playoff, BYU should be a part of it. And Tech's definitely a playoff team. There's no doubt in my mind. Yeah. But you got to, to change the perception is what we're talking about.
What if Tech would have gotten to play Alabama? They probably win.
Yeah. I also think it is interesting. These teams with the layoffs are clearly it's not
1-7 now.
Yeah, this is a
1-7.
Thing.
The teams with buys. The only one that won was Indiana.
That's a very real thing right now. Let's talk a little football. We'll start with I think Iowa State in the portal is probably the most interesting. So Jalen Rayner. A couple of your colleagues at CBS have crystal balled him to Iowa State. If I had a crystal ball, which I don't, I would pencil him into Iowa State as well, the Arkansas State quarterback. I'll tell you the one thing I like about this, without knowing too much about him, is just that he has so much experience. He's played a ton of football. And it feels like whatever Iowa State is going to field next year, and we have no idea what that's going to be at this point, because they only have 20 players on the roster. This guy is a dual threat, and they're going to have to win ugly if they're going to win games next year.
Yeah, how does that? How does his style of play fit what you think Iowa State's offense is going to be next season?
I would guess Iowa State offense will run the ball 65% of the time.
And what's the connection here? His quarterback's coach is at Iowa State now. Is that right?
Yes. The Arkansas State offensive coordinator is going to be Iowa State's quarterback's coach. So that's the connection. That's where everybody has this thing drawn. I think he's a nice quarterback. I don't think he's not Brennan Sorsby, but I think that you could do a lot worse if you're Iowa State here, where you also have Connor Moberly. Don't forget about that, who he stayed. This was a 4-star kid out of Southeast Polk 2 years ago, who a lot of people really liked. The Campbell staff really liked him. So I think that you bring in Rayner as your piece one, and then you let Moberly compete with him. And I think Moberly is a perfect fit for this new offense. Mm-hmm. Moberly's in a better fit now than he was with the Mauser offense, just based on his skill set. And I don't know. We'll see, but I do think right now Iowa State could do a lot worse than this Rayner kid who's
I agree.
So many starts, so many snaps. He's seen it all. I wouldn't be I'm not streaking through the neighborhood excited for this, but I also am pretty happy with it. I think it's a good start.
I've got the 24/7 Sports transfer quarterback rankings pulled up. Where do you think he fits in rankings wise?
Top 30. I mean, not much better than that. I can't imagine he's
68
in the quarterbacks.
Yeah, I think that's underrated.
Yeah, that's insane. They have 67 quarterbacks ahead of him.
Yeah,
Matt Campbell said he was one of the best in college football.
That's right. Matt Campbell said he was the best.
Yeah,
damn near beat Iowa State.
Where do you think Rocco Becht is?
Top 10.
Yep.
8.
Yep. Rocco Becht is ahead of Josh Hoover, who is transferring from TCU, and 24/7 Sports has it 100% that he's going to go to Indiana. Rocco Becht's ahead of him. Ethan Grunkemeyer.
Yeah, I was just going to ask where he is.
Where do you think he is?
I would put him in the top 15.
He's number 10. So it's really close. I wonder.
I thought he was going to Indiana. Is he not going to Indiana?
It's a question mark. No, he's clearly not. If Josh Hoover is going to go there, then Grunkemeyer is going to go.
I heard Grunkemeyer
elsewhere.
was going to Indiana, but
time will tell. I don't know. Is Rocco Becht going to be a better answer for Penn State than Ethan Grunkemeyer? I don't know.
Dude,
I think it's going to be fascinating.
I love Rocco. If they had any other schedule next year, I would be really, really questioning this.
That's true. It is kind of like a Big 12 schedule next year for Penn State.
Easier than a Big 12 schedule, I would argue.
It is. It's ridiculous.
It's so bad. I mean, I just know these Penn State fans, and they're already like bloggers and stuff tweeting out during the freaking Pinstripe Bowl before Rocco is even committed there that, oh, we don't need Rocco. Grunk's the guy.
If he struggles, the fans will turn on him fast because they're going to look at his numbers from this past season and they're going to think, well, he's only here because of Matt Campbell. He's going to have to – he's got a tough road ahead. Like, he's going to have to earn it. Coming off his worst season, coming off an injury.
Where did the Mansky kid land on those rankings?
Let me check.
Because I think he's going to go to Penn State.
Guess.
I mean, I know how good he is, so I would definitely – like, most people don't, though. He's got to be top 25.
Nope.
Top 30?
39.
39.
They got him as a 3-star transfer and still a question mark on where he's going. But you believe it's going to be – he might be the heir apparent to Rocco at Penn State because he's probably going to be the heir apparent at Iowa State?
I think that's what's going on.
The number one.
He was also, I know, considering Kansas State because of his previous recruitment. Colin Klein recruited him when he was the offensive coordinator at Kansas State. So, you know, he could end up there too.
To your point on you're going long about the Big 12 losing players, the top 2 ranked players in the portal, Sam Leavitt from Arizona State, Brendan Sorsby from Cincinnati.
My point, man. Like, you just like. Now, if Sorsby transfers to Texas Tech, like, okay, it's in the conference, that it doesn't really count.
Well, you know, Tech is going to throw all of their money at quarterback because they saw what happened in that game and they were a quarterback short.
So Raynard, Iowa State. If this happens, we're cool with it? Does it get the 2 guys' approval?
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, I do too. I think you could do a lot worse than going into the first season of Jimmy Rogers with Jalen Raynor and Connor Moberly. I think you could do a lot worse.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that the rankings don't reflect the experience.
Correct.
Because with a lot of these guys, they'll be ranked higher because of potential down the road. Like DJ Lagway is 4, Dylan Raiola is 5. Those guys, they've got talent.
Well, the other thing, too, fans need to realize is Iowa State's never going to be able to afford a top 15 quarterback. And I would make the argument that you're dumb to even try.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it doesn't even make sense for Iowa State to, like, with this year's roster coming up, we don't even know what it is. Spread the money out. Don't go and spend $3 million on a quarterback. It may not even matter.
Why the hell is Abu Sama leaving? I don't get that. He would be the guy on offense next year. And seemingly fit perfectly into that offensive system. It's going to be run heavy.
More to go elsewhere, and it's his last year to make money unless you think he's going to be in the NFL. I think a lot of these guys have stayed. They could have got – I know Sama could have gotten more in the portal last year. I know for a fact there was an SEC school that offered him really late. And it's like, we're going to go and make our money now. Like, the guy we were loyal to is gone. They have 1 year left to do it. Maximize. I know it sucks for the fans. Like, I'm not endorsing the current setup of college football, but I'm also speaking to you what the reality is.
Mm-hmm. Well, look, Iowa's dealing with it too.
Yeah, I saw that
in the portal.
So do you have another reinforcement? I have a nugget. Iowa State's going to have an Aussie punter next year.
Who doesn't have an Aussie punter anymore? You hit on it earlier, but just thinking back to when he came to Iowa and he's following in the footsteps of Tory Taylor. And they're like, what made you choose the University of Iowa? And what did he say, Williams?
He said, they made me come here.
He said,
they told me where I was going. They made me come to Iowa. I didn't even know where Iowa was.
I don't know. My guy at the academy just said, this is where you're going, and I went. But he did not Remember, people were right, he's the heir apparent. He's going to be the next Tory Taylor. It wasn't even close. And I'm not so sure Iowa can't upgrade here. I was looking at his stats this season. Not good. Not good.
Yeah, total drop off.
Okay, last year, he was first in the nation on punts inside the 20. This year, around 50th. He averaged 43 yards a punt. That's 81st in the country. His net punting, 60th in the country. His net punting wasn't even 40. It was fewer than 40 yards. So this is, I don't see this as like a big loss. I think Iowa can get a better punter than Dakin. He wasn't what they made him out to be. And I don't know, who's they? I don't know. The coaches,
Did the
media.
coaches even know, or were they just told, like, we had this other guy from Australia, we're just going to put him in here?
I don't know.
I have a hard time believing that they were, like, ready to – that they've, like, been scouting him.
Tory Taylor.
It's like this punting factory down there.
We'll have to get Carl Pepper on, get his thoughts. That's it's pretty disappointing, actually. Like, you just kind of thought that he was going to be really good. And it just didn't happen.
Yeah. I don't know. No other school in the country does people really care either, is the thing. It's like,
and punting doesn't matter as much with Iowa anymore.
No.
The offense is better.
He came at the wrong time, like when it was such a factor because of Tory Taylor and that just horrific offense. Yeah. I don't know. Iowa's going to have a pretty quiet. Credit to your Hawkeyes. Really great bowl performance.
Well, they are losing
Jaz Patterson.
Ruggiero. I think I saw this morning Ruggiero's going to Virginia Tech. And I think he's the one who helped get him Hecklinski. So, I mean, Hecklinski's in line to start, though. So I think I can't imagine that he would be.
Iowa looks better,
he would
too.
leave this opportunity.
You know, you didn't get the wins, but they do look better, like with Oregon winning and going to the Final Four.
Dude, Iowa's a top 15 team.
I would agree with you. Yeah. Iowa State still beat you, but I would agree with you.
You did.
I have to get that in there. You got to let me.
It's
let
true.
me have it.
It's true. Iowa State won.
Can I sneak one thing in too quick?
What?
Remember this from a week ago?
And again,
God,
even
we
if they
look like
do,
different people.
I'm not counting that as a ranked win. I am going to go into next season saying that they still have not won a legit game against a ranked team. I stand by that.
Okay.
It's an asterisk. They beat Vandy in a bowl game, and Iowa was full strength and Vandy was almost full strength, but it was still a bowl game. It was still an exhibition. Iowa looked good, and this will end on paper the ranked winning streak, but let's see it in the regular season. Let's see it in the games that really matter. See it in the games that count. All that being said, Iowa did what they needed to do. Man, they made Pavia look like Diego Poverty in the first half.
Did you come up with that?
I did, just on the fly.
That was really good.
But in the second half, he was damn good.
Shirt.
Diego Poverty.
God, I don't even know if we should do that though. Like I feel like they could take real offense to that.
It would not. That wouldn't be good. Yeah, Hair Trigger brings up a great point. I was thinking about this. He said, just imagine Caleb Johnson had he come back for another year. If Iowa had Caleb Johnson on this team, they're in the playoffs. I think Iowa was a good running back short of greatness.
Probably beaten Iowa State if you had him.
I think both of Iowa State's running backs were significantly better than any of Iowa's running backs. Like you put Carson Hansen or Abu Sama on Iowa.
No doubt.
And I think they're in the playoff. That's the only thing. I mean, yeah, you can say the pass game, whatever. But if they had a run, that was the best offensive line in the country. And you never saw anyone break away for a long touchdown. It never happened. Nobody had the breakaway speed. But damn, that was a fun season and a really fun team to watch. And so close. You know, these two teams, Indiana and Oregon, you can say you should have beat both of them. And they're playing in the semis. And Indiana is the favorite to win the national championship. It was fun. This was definitely the best Iowa team in at least 10 years. And this team might beat that 2015 Iowa team. That 2015 Iowa team went undefeated, but they had a schedule like Penn State has this upcoming season.
Yeah.
They really didn't have to play anybody.
Where do you think Penn State will be ranked in the preseason?
That's a good question. 20. Early guess. Maybe right around where?
I was talking to, and it wasn't a Campbell person, it wasn't an Iowa State person. I know people all over the country now. I had a really good insight from a friend who's in a SEC program, actually, and said that the belief around college football right now is because there's like something like 4,000 guys in the portal right now. There's more guys in the portal than there are like scholarships available, he was telling me. And he said the conversation that they're all having is nobody knows how they're going to fill a roster by the spring. Because there's just so many places to fill everywhere.
Jesus.
I also had a guy last week tell me that you're going to start seeing a lot more of these 2-year contracts for these players.
Dude, there's 1-year contracts. Who did I see yesterday? Some big name quarterback. And it was like the thing they put out there was like, so-and-so has agreed to a contract extension for next year to come back for his sophomore season at wherever. God. Come on. Remember when you just knew somebody was a sophomore, so they're going to be back as a junior? You just knew it. Didn't have to be, you don't have to put it out there as a contract extension.
I still think these people in college athletics, they won't do it until they're forced to. They as a fan of the sport, like, don't we want to know, okay, you have $10 million, I'm just even number. How much of that are you putting towards your D-line?
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's what makes baseball fun, like to know, maybe not baseball, like the NFL is a better example. How are you spreading out this out? And I also think that's a way that we have to judge these coaches now. Like, these GMs should have press conferences where we can ask them why.
Well, how do we get to that point, though? What would it take?
Collective bargaining. And because the people inside the athletic departments, not necessarily the coaching staffs, but they would say, well, they're still student athletes, because in theory they are. And the whole world doesn't need to know how much money they're making to like protect them from harassment and all those things is what they would tell us. Mm-hmm. But the naysayer in me would be like, well, that's not really the reality we're living in, though. Like, we can say that, but that is a farce. Like, they are, and that's why I think fans are just so annoyed right now. When you funded the collective for the last, and then these guys can just up and just go and
they can go before the season's over.
Yeah.
I mean,
look at what I really am salty about. I know that our thoughts on bowl games. Iowa State went 8-4. You know how hard that is to do here? Mm-hmm. Fans get nothing out of it.
No, and you didn't even get your full money's worth because they turned down the bowl game.
Pisses me off. Speaking of money's worth, you can make some money at the Wild Rose casinos. I prefer the one up there in Jefferson because it's closest to me, but I've been to Clinton before. I've never been to the Emmitsburg. Emmitsburg, the hometown of Coop from our text chain. Yeah, Coop's a Emmitsburg guy.
What, you got any good bets today? We've got a couple good NFL games. I'm sure Van Woke is on the 49ers. I'm seeing that they're 2.5-point home dogs, Van Woke.
Matt,
what the hell?
Give us a lock.
Your Purdy boner's got to be worth at least 2 points.
I placed my bet like a week ago, right when that line came out. I think they were, 2.5. What is it now? It opened at 4.5. So, I jumped on it early. Yeah, opened at 4.5.
I don't understand that. Give me the Niners.
I'm wearing my Purdy jersey today. ready to go.
It's supposed to be a little rainy in the Bay Area too.
Oh.
Hey, real talk. You were talking about the New Year's resolutions and stuff. I think that you all should choose to not be a fat ass this year and go to Game Day Mid-South. I'm not kidding. It totally changed my life when I went in there 2 years ago.
I feel like this is the first time you've actually been sick since you started getting the tea.
You know what? You're probably not far off. I have not been sick much at all. You can book your consultation, get in there, get your testosterone levels, find your maximal self. Game Day Mid-South. I go to the one in Ankeny. Give them all a shout out when you go in there. Tell them that you came in there because you watched the show. Also the one over in West Des Moines. They've got locations in North Liberty, our ownership group at least, in Naperville, Illinois.
Williams has been doing all these book events. You've been shaking hands, kissing
I know.
babies, and
It's a real
that's
thing,
where the
man.
germs are coming. Jeez.
It's a real thing.
Stop touching those dirty kids.
I think we're going to do a book thing at the Ankeny Game Day Mid-South coming up. Look
A
forward
lot
to
of people want to know how Van Wilk feels about the Venezuelan president and first lady getting a first-class ticket to the
woke
United
up
States.
to that news. What the hell's going on?
Are you
Pets'
upset
heads are
about
falling
that?
off. Presidents are getting abducted.
Oh, my God.
I'm so far out of the loop with all things that are non-transfer portal. I'm not even kidding. Like I barely knew anything about West Virginia basketball going into that game because all I've been focusing on for 4 weeks is the Iowa State football transition. And I woke up this morning and and it was like the United States has abducted the Venezuelan. What in the? Like we're at war with Venezuela?
Wait. Honest question here, and because I don't know much about this either, and this is probably a bad idea that I'm even asking this on the show. Why were they abducted? Because they lost an election and refused to leave?
I think there was something like there were charges. I don't want to speak poorly, but I think there were some like weapons charges against.
Weapons
president.
charges. Okay.
And there's
Drugs
they've been bombing all these cartel boats and stuff, and I don't know. I don't want to get into it too much, but
This feels like one of those things that we probably really don't know most of. This is like a CIA matter.
Yeah, I'm gonna take my own advice and not speak on something I know absolutely nothing about.
Yeah.
You know what I do know about, though?
Poor choices.
The Winter Classic.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Poor choices. Toppling Goliath, baby.
That's what I'm talking about.
Dude, this has become a great brand for us, the Toppling Goliath, poor choices. I'm constantly getting people like tweet at me, that's a poor choice, and they spell it P-O-U-R. So shout out to John Liebel. He's the one who came up with this branding for this. It's really good. Go and buy yourself a pseudo shoe for your Saturday night.
All right, so my poor choice is the NHL playing their Winter Classic, which when you think of the Winter Classic, you think of like, remember that game the Red Wings and Maple Leafs played at the Big House in Ann Arbor? 110,000 people outside. It's snowing. It looks awesome. It's the Winter Classic. It's supposed to be played outside. So what do? They come down to South Florida, play at the Marlins Stadium.
I can't believe this is real.
Oh, it's real. And it's even worse than you could imagine. I had friends that were there last night. Just take a look at some of these videos they were taking of what was going on around the ice. Like in all this kind of reminds me of what Miami does with that dumb F1 thing. What is all this crap on the exterior? Because the ice rink takes up like, I don't know, maybe 10% of the baseball field. And they've got all this other shit on the, like, what is going on?
You can't even see the player, like from where these people are sitting.
Yeah.
What?
And that's like the best seat in the house.
That's a joke.
Amanda Guerra was sending me these videos. And so they had like other fake games going on elsewhere. And what is this? They've got these like
Teletubbies?
aquarium mascots.
Remember the Marlins used to have that like obscene like
Yes.
thing in center field? Is that what they're recreating here?
Now, I don't know. I have no idea what's going on. There's a lobster, there's a seahorse, and they're just like people
Bring
that
out the
work at the
dancing
stadium
lobsters.
that they've dressed up. What are
like
we?
But
wow, this
why
is
is
actually
the
kinda
Winter
fun.
Classic not just somewhere where it's winter?
Well, here's the problem. Because the Florida Panthers run the NHL now. Because they've won Stanley Cups, and so they're like, well, we gotta come down to Florida. Come on.
Let the people go down. Like, why are there just dancers down? Like,
I don't know.
they should
Like,
let
how
people
could
on
you
the
pay
ice.
attention to anything going on in the actual game with
That's
all that
so
other stuff
stupid.
going on?
Was that like a shot?
Yeah, I think
Hockey stick?
Guerra was taking
Whoa.
a shot out of a hockey stick, or one
That's
of her friends
cool.
anyway. Yeah, clearly Jamie Pollard does not run the Marlins ballpark.
Well, there's like a whole beer in there.
Oh yeah.
That's
There's
like
a whole
what they
beer in
call
that
those, a
hockey
yard-
stick.
a
I'll be
yard
damned.
beer?
Look at that. There you can see the suds and everything.
Way to go, Amanda.
God.
One year they did this in Lake Tahoe. They had the Winter Classic in Lake Tahoe, and it was like too hot, and the ice kept melting.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Just play the
So-
damn thing in Chicago, Boston.
Yeah.
Like I don't understand why. Why does it have to travel?
Play it at the big house every year.
Or just go away with it.
Anyway, that's my poor choice because that's a bad choice.
This is just one.
You can't spin
I've
that.
lived in this world in auto racing forever. It's a lot of these like more niche sports. They try so hard to get headlines. Like NASCAR, remember
Yeah.
when they went to the LA Coliseum and where USC plays and they like put a track in there. Like they're just constantly trying to do these gimmick things to get people excited.
And it's almost like
cool
they're
uniforms,
trying to do it for non-fans. Right?
Why don't they just do it in Minnesota? Like where hockey is like the
Yes.
biggest. Just do
Well,
it
where-
there
State of
every
hockey.
year. Let the Wild
guess
just
you'd-
host it.
You'd have to do it at what, TCF Bank, where whatever the hell they're calling where the Gophers play, because they don't have you can't play indoors.
Yeah, I think they've done it at Target. Did they do it at Target Field?
Oh, Target Field, yeah, you could
Yeah.
probably do it there,
Yeah.
but I mean, God, find the picture of when they did it at the Big House in, I think it was 2014, and I'm pretty sure it was the Red Wings and the Maple Leafs, and this might have been the very first one that they did, and it was a great idea. Like, well, how cool is that? Like, the Red Wings, great fan base, put it outside at Michigan Stadium, and it was glorious. Look at that snow, and the
That's
ice
awesome.
rink. It like fits in. It fits on a football field a lot better than it does a baseball field.
Unreal. Good pull. I would have never even known that was happening. I'm not kidding.
I didn't know it was happening either. I'm watching the Iowa State game, and in our group text, I get a text from Amanda, and Amanda says, "This game is ... interesting." And I said, "What game? Iowa State, West Virginia?" She said, "No, the Winter Classic," and then started sending those videos. Like, if you're there and it's that distracting and weird even being there, God, I don't know where it's at next year, but they got to do better than that.
I did think of you last night. I think I finally may be out on the Iowa State crank horn.
Yes. Who did
It's just
who did it last night?
No, just
Were you, 'cause you were there,
fan.
right?
Yeah, I was a fan, and it was this guy, and he was cranking really hard with passion. He cranked really hard, and his like son was right beside him,
Yeah.
and the son was just watching dad, and like, and it was cute because it was a big deal to the son, and like the dad was clearly like trying very hard.
Van Wil, can you pull up the
Crank.
crank horn where was it AJ Klein was just absolutely manhandling that thing, rocking the podium back and forth?
The problem is, I think you've ruined it for me because now
It's
I
not
can't-
me. It's the thing is horrible.
No, I know, but I used to like.
It's
Really,
embarrassing.
I loved it when they started doing it at Hilton, and it was just this random member of Cyclone Alley, and this kid just,
So you have to teach them to do it correctly. I think Van Wilk has talked about this before. Like, you can't go in there because then it just stays at the same weird pitch. You have to do it like you're actually supposed to do it, where it's a siren and not just a. You know what I'm talking about? Like, you got to teach these idiots how to do it properly. And if you can't do that, then you shouldn't be doing the crank horn. Okay?
Because I used to like.
Want to hear the most annoying sound in the world?
Oh.
Goodness.
I think I'm out on it.
You got to ramp into it, or get a better crank. Like, that thing's too wimpy. Like, make it start lower. Like, like this one's wimpy.
And get one that isn't rocking all over the place.
Yeah, well, especially like AJ Klein's that's a man's man.
Yeah.
10-year NFL linebacker. He has a lot of power and passion to crank with.
Speaking of cranking one, Van Wilk, good luck to your Niners tonight.
Cheers to the freaking weekend with your 49ers.
Let's cheers, baby.
Cheers to the freaking weekend. Let's raise our glass of Steeple Ridge bourbon.
I have coffee. I do feel like a bit of a hot toddy would be good for the old throat tonight, though.
Ooh. A hottie toddy?
I don't have a lot going on, and then I'm not kidding. My entire Saturday will be transfer portal work. I will just sit here in my office and
sounds
work.
Horrible.
Why do you think I was so emotional when Campbell left? Because I knew how much work I was going to have. And I was like, well, there goes my winter. No, it will be an eventful couple of days here for Iowa State. So I really will be working a lot this weekend. What about Matt's just going to be living the high life? So 49ers win and you get the number 1 seed, right?
Yeah, all the way through to the Super Bowl if we keep winning. Yeah.
You know who else can do that? Miami in football. The national championship's down here at the Orange Bowl at not Marlins Park, but at Hard Rock Stadium. So Miami would have a home game.
Dude, I forgot to tell you guys this. So, friend of the program, Matty Erdman, over here on New Year's Day, we're watching
Matty Erdman.
Watching the Sugar Bowl together. And he's a Chiefs fan. And I invited him. I was like, yeah, well, I go, if Purdy, I don't know how we got, because, the Chiefs aren't going to make it. And I said, if Purdy has a Super Bowl, I'll host a party. And he's like, I'm not going if Van Winkle's there. Because the last time Matt...
Wasn't he like cussing in front of kids?
Yeah, like Matt would just like jump up and be like, in your face, when the 49ers did something. And then when the 49ers lost, he was just acting so childish. And he's like,
in a Purdy jersey too.
Well, I mean, but I got to be kind to the guests.
I'm never watching a Super Bowl with Williams ever again. I felt so out of place. I was surrounded by Chiefs fans and fake 49er fans.
Are you one of those people that, like, during a game with your team, you're like jumping up and down, you're like kicking the couch?
No, I stand for when I watch games on football games. I'm standing and my hands are on my knees, and I'm just like, I feel like I'm in the game.
Wow,
that's how I was, Williams. Right? Wasn't I standing most of the Super Bowl game?
Yeah.
If something happened, I'd fall to my knees.
That's how my dad is watching big games.
So I'm locking myself in when the Niners are in the Super Bowl.
No, you're not.
I might go to the game. I actually might. I might
back
see
in your neck of the woods.
I mean, I have family that has season tickets, so I
don't know. Do you really want to do that though, Matt?
What?
Because what if they
go
lose?
to the Super Bowl? Yeah, I do, because I have regrets when the Giants played the Royals in the World Series in 2014. I didn't go, and I have regrets. So I want to see one of my teams on the biggest stage.
How much would that cost?
Well, I got to know some people out there.
Yeah.
So.
I just I don't think if the Vikings they won't go to a Super Bowl in my lifetime. But if they did, I don't think I would want to go to it because I know they would lose.
Yeah.
And it would just ruin the whole experience for me.
It'd be nuts out there. I'll probably watch at home. I don't know.
What are you doing all weekend, Hassel?
Today, I think it's just pretty chill. I think we're gonna go out to eat tonight, and this is it. Like we've been talking about this for weeks. It's like I've got to get back. I've got to start eating better.
I feel you.
But it doesn't start tonight. It'll start either tomorrow or Monday. Okay, that's when all of the stuff kicks in.
Yep.
That's when I'm coming back. The fun's over. Although I haven't smoked a cigar in like a month.
That'll be good for your throat, the bronchitis.
That's why I haven't.
Real quick, totally forgot that we got to get into the Wyckoff comfort zone.
I can put you in the comfort zone real quick.
Oh.
You're gonna put us in the Wyckoff comfort zone,
real
Maddie?
quick. Wait a minute.
Kick back and relax. Two guys have entered the Wyckoff Heating and Cooling comfort zone.
My boy Brock Purdy just leads us.
Oh, well, you have
To
an
the number
action
one
figure
seed.
for Brock Purdy now?
Oh, he's got more than that.
Yeah.
Do you know Gwyneth Paltrow? She sells like molds of her vagina.
Goop.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Gwyneth Paltrow does this?
Yes. If Brock Purdy did that for his ween,
She's the woman from Deuce Bigelow, Male Gigolo, right?
Van Woke would have that
know.
and just go to town with it. Did you see the picture I sent you of Van Woke the other day with Purdy?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It was
Real
impressive.
picture. No AI in that picture.
No. Just a
Number one
big,
seed on the
veiny
line.
boner.
5 more touchdowns tonight. What do you think, guys?
I've heard about these women who fart into a bag. You ever heard about them?
God, I don't want to hear about this.
No, I'm serious. They'll fart in a sack. And then they'll
Sci-Fan
ship
says
it
that
to
my
you.
left eye is dropping further below my right. Is that true? I think.
Are you having a stroke?
I might be. I don't know. Jason says Van Woke has the Purdy blow-up doll. No, seriously. I think
Look at
that
this.
I do think that Matt would have sex with Brock Purdy if Brock asked him to. I seriously believe that. And he wouldn't think it was gay.
Can you please get rid of the
Not that there's
branding
anything
for
wrong with
Wyckoff
that.
in this conversation? Thanks. Well, this show needs to end.
It does. My dog's
you
been
guys.
sitting here patiently this whole time. Nori, the show's over.
Show's over, Nori.
Show's over, cutie. Come here.
All right,
There
guys.
she is.
Have an amazing weekend. We will be back on Monday morning. We'll recap it all. Two guys, Chris and Chris. Iowa everywhere. Later.
Bang bang. Let's go.